Last video, I interviewed a guy named Smithy Holm. He claims that his polygamous family was in ties with the cartel, did drug smuggling, and murdered people, yet got away with it.
There's a big elephant in the room, and it's actually just in this town. So my grandpa, Leroy S. Johnson, went to Mexico in the 1930s, and he formed this alliance with the Sinaloa cartel, came to the creek, and started smuggling drugs.
His family had been raided by the FBI a total of 8 times, and there was actually a Facebook post about one of the FBI raids, and a girl reacted to a comment on the FBI raid who had the same last name as Smithy. Her name is Leanna Holm. So I was like, okay, she probably has an opinion on Smithy, and she's probably related to Smithy. I look at her profile picture on Facebook, and she looks like she's got her head on her heels, man. She looks like she's actually, doing good in life. So I reached out to her. I said, hey, I saw you react to something about Smithy Holm. Are you related to him? I did a video on the FLDS, and he has been messaging me about the information he has and wants to get his story out there. Do you have an opinion on this? Her response, Smithy is an addict. Everything that has happened to the men out there is sketchy as hell, but I also think what the women have gone through is so much worse. You ask that kid about Jimmy Holm, see what he says. If he can be honest about that guy, and that's highly unlikely, maybe I'd have an opinion. So yeah, she's like, dude, ask this guy about Jimmy Holm. And if he could be honest about him, maybe I'll have an opinion. Jimmy Holm?
Oh yeah.
Do you know who Jimmy Holm is?
Yeah, he's a drug dealer.
He's a drug dealer?
He's like my double cousin, actually. He's
okay.
Yeah, he's cool. I mean, he's a drug dealer, but I don't think he's like killed anybody yet.
Okay, fair enough. And then I send the clip of him saying that to Leanna Holm, this girl. She had a lot to say. He's cool. And there is why I would never take anything he says seriously. Anyone who thinks a story needs to be put out about the killings of old men by a kid who would back up a person like James Holm is never anyone I would listen to or ever take seriously. He had some interesting views, sure, but no one gives a shit about when there are drugs and parties with little girls present and possibly molested by these ingrates, and to me, that is what's wrong with all of it. People focus on the religion and all the shit that happens to the old men who made their own choices to be in the religion, but no one gives a crap what is happening right now, present day. The fact that my own children had to protect and take care of their half-sister growing up under disgusting circumstances and parties with ragger weekends. No matter how many times I've tried to get him in front of a judge to try to make it all stop, it never did. And no one gives a damn because he's cool. But when the Cook kid got shot last year, I thought it was Jimmy. I was surprised when I heard it wasn't. And he almost did kill someone. Every time he gets behind a wheel, he puts a life in danger. And all of those cousins and kids and grown men that party and do drugs with him, Jimmy, want to talk about what the religion has done to men who are gone and have all these stories to sell to try to make a buck. But no one wants to talk about the real uncomfortable shit. Like, why are all the kids really fucked up? Who is taking care of these little kids that are stuck in houses with drug addicts and alcoholics for the last 15 years? But you're a journalist, right? I guess what sells is what matters. Good luck on your quest. So she was actually not happy with me, as you can tell. But I do not like confrontation. I actually like de-escalating confrontation. Is that a word? So, yeah, I gotta explain myself because I'm like, well, listen, I'm trying to reach out to other people. This is why I'm reaching out to you. I want your side of the story because I don't want to just take what Smithy has to say, right? It's not fair journalism to only get his side of the story. This is exactly why I'm reaching out to people like you, Leanna Holm. And that is basically what I said in this entire long message was basically, dude, look, I'm reaching out to other people trying to get other sides of the story. I'm not just taking what Smithy has to say and being like, oh, it's going to get clicks and views. Like, I want to get other sides of the story. So, yeah, this is basically what I do. But as for Jimmy Holm, he's allegedly a drug dealer, and I want to go confront this guy and get his side of the story because, once again, it is not fair journalism to only get Smithy's side of the story. So let's go get Jimmy Holm's side of the story and see, does this guy actually sell drugs? Is this guy actually a criminal like people are alleging he is? So we go drive up to this guy's house. Are you guys related to Jimmy Holm?
No, I am Jimmy Holm.
You are Jimmy Holm?
Yeah. What do you want to know?
We are skeptical of some. It seems like a little bit interesting.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to know your. Do you know Leanna Holm?
Do I?
Yeah. Is that like one of your exes?
Why are you asking?
She actually wanted me to.
Oh,
So we're filming a documentary. He let us here.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I guess you're not interested in an interview for
No,
a documentary? Okay, no worries. Thank you. He's not interested at all. Most of the conversation I had with him, I have to bleep out because literally if I talk about certain things, expose certain people, say things without people's permission when I'm talking about them, it could be, let's just say it could end badly. So yes, this entire conversation I basically had to bleep out. But he did not want to answer any of my questions I had to ask about him. And when I was like, you know what? Can we just do an interview with you for a documentary we're making? He said no. And he shook his head no, and he kept driving. He drove away. So, yeah, we did not get Jimmy Holm's side of the story. And it didn't seem like he was willing to talk. If you guys don't remember, last video he said that his dad admitted to murdering people. Have you ever heard anybody confess these things, or?
Yeah, my daddy admitted that it's all true and said, what difference does it make if their families know how they died, and what are you going to do about it, and you're going down the wrong road and stuff like that.
And he said that there is a guy who witnessed his dad admit to these murders, and that guy's name is Kenny Jessup.
And I have a witness that heard him say it on the phone. Kenny Jessup heard him say it.
Yeah, let's go get Kenny Jessup's side of the story, because once again, it is not fair journalism to only get Smithy's side of the story. Did Kenny Jessup actually witness his dad admit to murder? So I did a deep dive online and I found Kenny Jessup. I literally found him. I said, hey, I'm working on a documentary for the FLDS and I've been reaching out to people who know Smithy Holm to get other sides of his story. Do you know him by chance? And his response goes, I know Smithy. Okay, great response, buddy. Then I said, okay, what are your thoughts on him? Is there any way I can do like a 20-second video chat with you at some point? No response, but he left me on red. So I double chat him. I said, I at least want your side of the story on his dad. Smithy claims his dad killed some people and admitted it. Smithy told me that you were a witness of his dad admitting it. Is this true? And his response is, I think Smithy is alright. He has said a lot of things about a lot of people that may or may not be true. Okay, great response, buddy. Did you hear his dad admit to murder, though? And then his response is, are you investigating murder? So I said, well, I'm an independent journalist, and right now I'm trying to get other sides of the story. I don't feel like it's fair journalism to hear him out and not other people's story who was also involved in it too. I would just like to know if anything he says about the murdering going on is credible or not. And he left me on red for over 24 hours. And I'm like, bro, I'm never gonna get answers. Until the next day, I got annoyed that he wasn't answering my texts. So I sent him another video of Smithy Holm saying, yeah, this is the guy who witnessed my dad admitting to murders, Kenny Jessup. And I sent the video to him. And he actually finally responded once I sent this video to him. And he says, what Smithy has said in this video isn't a lie. But his dad didn't outright admit to murdering anyone. He basically didn't deny that people had died over the situation that Smithy had accused him and others of being involved in. Finally got a response. I told him, hey, I appreciate your response. And I left it at that because I didn't think he was willing to talk anymore. But then he sends me another message. He goes, I should say that he didn't deny that people could have died because of the situation. He didn't say they did or didn't. I have seen no evidence of Smithy's accusations of murder being true, so I would call it plausible. So yeah, that is Kenny Jessup's side of the story. Basically said, yeah, what Smithy is saying in this video is not a lie. I did witness his dad admit to some suspicious things, but he didn't outright admit to murder though. He admitted that these people, they could have died from these things that he's being accused of. Smithy also claims that he got poisoned by a guy named Nathan Holm, and yeah, I actually went to reach out to Nathan Holm, but if this guy is like attempting murder on people, maybe I should stay away from that. So I unsent every single message that I sent to Nathan Holm, and right now I'm debating, do I confront this guy? Do I not get his side of the story? Like, he's been accused of some major crimes, so yeah, like literally attempted murder. So I don't know if I want him to know my name, but if I could go to him in person, and maybe I'd be more willing to do that, instead of, you know, message him through Facebook and possibly have him find me. I don't know. Maybe I should talk to Nathan Holm and get his side of the story. Like, hey, did you do attempted murder on Smithy Holm? But yeah, I haven't gotten his side of the story yet. But basically, Smithy Holm's side of the story is, well, he got poisoned, and he died, and he came back to life.
I got murdered with cyanide. I was completely dead and went out of my body and came back. A week where I only had a loaf of bread, and then the next week I only had a case of ramen, and that was all I had for 2 weeks. And then he fed me a chili dog with cyanide in it. I took one bite off the side and my mouth started foaming, and it was burning like almonds, and I kind of thought it was hydrogen peroxide because it was the only thing I could relate to. And I didn't even attribute him to poisoning me for a long time after, because I was in shock. But he put the cyanide in a chili dog, and I took a bite and started foaming. And he actually took his kids in the other room. He had his wife take his kids in the other room. And I was sitting at the table with this chili dog, and I took a bite, and I started foaming, and I felt sick, so I left my food. And his wife's like, aren't you gonna finish your food? And she was offended because I was gonna waste my food, and I was like, no, I feel sick. So I walked upstairs and I started swallowing water and burping it out of the sink. And I was feeling like these deep waves of electric shock going through my nervous system, like if you ever had the flu and lived through it. If you feel your nervous system get shocked. It wasn't painful, it was like deep electric shocks, like wave after wave. And my mouth was burning like almonds. Like, it wasn't painful, but it was like a cinnamon burn that tasted like almonds.
Yeah.
And so I swallowed water, and then I went and whited out and laid on the bed, and I tried to grab the pillows to hold on because I didn't think it was real. And then I whited out, and I saw like static electricity like on a TV for a second, and then I whited out and released out of my body like a tube in the center of my brain. And it was like a release, like a popsicle stick, where I slid out of my brain like a release. And it felt better than anything in the world once I was out of my body. And then I got automatically pulled to the sun like a magnet, and I went all the way to the surface of the sun, like 93 million miles away. I was completely dead. And then I phased in on the sun, and I saw like a tree in front of me, and it was like a fiber optic rainbow tree with information in it. And I was gonna grab it to get all my information back from my previous lives and like download all the information from the sun. It was kind of like downloading the internet into my consciousness.
Right.
But when I reached out to grab it, then there was people there that suppressed me because they knew who I was, and they held me down so I couldn't grab it. Because if I grabbed the tree and got all my information back, then I would have different memories, and I couldn't go back into my body where my brain had these memories where I was already assimilated into my body. So they couldn't let me grab the tree, so they suppressed me, and then they called the owner of the sun. We would call him God, but he called himself the owner of the sun, like the highest intelligence individual on the sun. And so God came over and he scanned my consciousness like he was more powerful than them. And he saw like everything I ever did. He saw like my intentions and my thoughts and my motives and everything that I ever did. He was way more powerful than those guys, than all the people from my town that knew who I was that were there. And so he scanned me and he said, you got to go back and shut it down. So he carried me back to my body from the sun, and I could feel the gravity pulling on me. And so he was holding me above my body in the house in Phoenix where I got murdered. I was on the top floor of the house, laying on my bed, on my back on the bed. And I looked down at my body, and I asked God, like, for more information, like, you know, to make me smarter, so that I could do something, more stuff, you know. And he wouldn't even respond. But what he showed me is that if I killed myself, then I would go into a black hole. And he showed me, like, it's like floating around in the ocean at night, and you can't drown, and you can't starve to death, and it's like permanent darkness, and there's nobody to talk to, and everybody's just like wallowing in their own negative energy. And he showed me that, and he said, if you kill yourself, you'll go into a black hole. If you try to get back to the sun with suicide, you'll be ashamed, and you'll be in permanent negative energy state.
Right.
And so that's kind of like why I haven't, you know, killed myself. But then I looked down at my body, and I knew that I could make it back in my body. I just knew that it was possible because I'd studied all of Warren Jeff's religion, and I'd studied the Bible and the Book of Mormon, and I'd listened to everything that they'd ever told me. And I knew there was a God and stuff. It was obvious, you know. And so I saw my body through the wall, and I knew that I could make it. So I grabbed my shoulders while I was dead. Like I grabbed them, like my hands, grabbed my shoulders, and I pulled myself up into a sitting position. And when I did that, then my consciousness went over a black gap with no bridge, kind of like jumping over a black gap.
Right.
Kind of like Morpheus in the Matrix when he jumps over the skyscrapers over the road. He knew that he could do it, even though it's breaking the laws of physics. And it was the same concept with me, is that I knew that it was possible. I don't know how I knew it, but I just knew that I could do it.
Yeah.
So I grabbed my shoulders while I was dead, and I went back in my body, and my arms and legs were numb from being cold, so I was dead long enough that my body went cold. So it was at least 30 minutes.
Jeez.
You know, the speed of light from the sun and back is 8.5 minutes each way.
Yeah.
But when you're out of your body, then time doesn't exist. So everything that happened to me was like the speed of light, like one thing and then the next thing and then the next thing. And so when I went back in my body, then God moved all the cyanide that was in my blood. He was floating above the house looking at me, and all the poison in my blood started moving like an IV, like a reverse IV. It broke the laws of physics, and it traveled up into my tonsils. And my tonsils swelled up over the next couple of days, and then they burst. And I had a pocket of cyanide under my tongue, in my chin. And I went and got surgery and pulled out the cyanide. And the FBI has proof that I got murdered with cyanide.
He claims that he touched the sun, came back to life, and that's something I can relate with, because I also touched the sun at one point. So we're about to eat the Carolina Reaper chicken.
Beating! Tether! Keep beating!
Tyler, it's okay. You gotta go swallow, it's gonna burn more. Holy. She's okay. Let's go. Bro, this is half the reason these people were here right here. You made it to
Oh my god.
Chris is gonna finish it. You're gonna let him finish it?
Oh my god. Smithy also claimed that he gets spied on all the time by random drones or just flying objects in the air that are shining lights on his house. He claims that he's getting stalked non-stop.
So drones flying over the creek, this town, and they have for the last 20 years. You can see like blinking lights. They're like Predator drones with lasers on them. And they told me that they've had Mexicans at my back door that they killed with a laser, and they took their bodies in the middle of the night. Like, they've tried to come after me to chop me up, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm not afraid of death because I've went back in my body once, and why couldn't I do it again?
Yeah, for sure.
I know how to do it. I've done it once. There's no reason I couldn't do it again.
Yeah. Literally 30 minutes later, after he tells us that he's getting stalked, this happens.
The drone watching us up there.
There is a literal drone. Where?
I don't know. It's up there somewhere.
I see it.
They're always no. Yeah, that's it. Right over there. Over there. Over there. Over there. Going down.
Follow that drone.
No, there's legit a drone.
This is crazy, dude.
He was talking about drone spying on people earlier.
He was, okay, literally 30 minutes ago, he was like, I have drones spying on me all the time. And then all of a sudden, a drone freaking pops out of nowhere.
Small town too.
And it's the smallest town.
Like
He wasn't lying about.
Like literally 30 minutes ago, he's like, yeah, there's drones. You could see them in the air at nighttime. You could like see the little lights of them up in the sky.
yeah, there's definitely. And look how many freaking.
Where's it coming from, bro? There's no people.
Go find it.
Some of the craziest stuff ever, man. He has some interesting point of views. He claims that he is more religious than the Pope. He also wrote a song about getting poisoned by cyanide. And he actually requested that I put the song in the outro of this video. Alright, we're at McDonald's right now. Opinions on Smithy Holm.
I don't know what to believe with this man. This man is crazy. A little bit.
What do you mean by a little bit? Elaborate.
Elaborate?
Yeah, elaborate on a little bit. What do you believe? That
Everything he said.
everything he said, do you think is true?
Yes, 100%. He is right. There's drones following us. Not even his own cousin would tell him he's not crazy. He is crazy. Like, his own cousin avoided us. Like, if he wanted to defend himself, he would in the moment. But no, he didn't. He ran. I believe him. Everything. Murders. Everything. 100%.
He's a bit of a conspiracy theorist.
Elaborate on a bit.
Well,
You're so mean.
I don't know, man. He said it himself. It sounds like a big conspiracy, but normally when people say that, it just means it's a big conspiracy. He has no evidence.
Are conspiracies true sometimes or no?
Well,
Could be true.
maybe.
Maybe.
Highly
What
doubt
percentage
it.
are you giving him that he's true?
I'll give him like 45%.
That's high, dude. That's crazy. Okay.
I believe some of the things he says that he believes that
It might be
it
true
happened.
for him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He believes that it happened to him.
What about
You
the
believe
whole
that-
thing with
I believe that he believes it. I do not believe he went to Nicolas Cage's house.
I don't know. That could be real.
Just
Be
like
real.
him meeting the leader of
Yeah.
that.
And Bill Clinton and the Bushes are in on it.
He could have died and gone to the sun.
Do you believe Bill Clinton's in on it?
I do not believe the Clinton and the Bushes care anything
How do
about
you know?
Utah.
How do you know?
Oh, you're right. How would I know?
How does he know?
How does he know?
Yeah.